In practice, you guys crush the dribbling drills, your handle feels tight, and the ball is on a string. But for some reason, when you step into the game, you guys hesitate, and it feels like your handle kind of just disappears. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you guys a full workout to help you build that in-game confidence with your handle. I'm Coach Meech, let's dive into it. For the first two drills, we're working on building your guys' foundation and your ball control. So this first drill, you're gonna get nice and low. We're gonna perform one setup dribble, pound it nice and hard. Don't let it go too high, keep it about your waist level. From here, you're going to perform a V-Dribble. So it's going over and you wanna pull it back. After that, two crossovers in front, 1, 2, and then you're going between the legs. With this, you wanna make sure you have a wide base the entire time and you're pounding the basketball hard. So you're getting nice and low, it's V, double cross through. The whole time you wanna try to keep your head up, making sure you can see the floor the entire time. One focus point I want you guys to pay attention to when you're doing this drill is to make sure you're shifting your weight just a little bit. A lot of beginners make the mistake of just staying nice and stacked, and the whole time they're just doing the drill and they're not really moving their body or shifting the weight. With this drill, I want you guys to kind of shift your weight as you're going through it. So when you go across with your V, you can even lean to the side. When you come back, lean back, and now when you do your double cross, shift, maybe raise, and then go through. So you're shifting your weight a little bit, maybe standing up, dropping back down, so you're adding just a little bit more dynamic movement with your stationary dribbling. For this drill, I want you guys to go 3 rounds, 30 seconds total. For this drill, we're still working on that ball control and manipulation, that foundation handle. We're gonna get nice and low, take that setup dribble. From here, we're performing an in and out. So our hands rotating over top of the basketball, and then we're pushing it out. The difference between the in and out and the V-Dribble has 2 bounces, 1, 2, in and out has 1, and you're just dragging it back out. So from here, after the in and out, you're going behind the back twice, then through the legs, it switches hands, repeating it on the same side. So it's dribble, in and out, 1, 2, and then through the legs. One tip to help you guys with this drill is to stay nice and low with your behind the back. A lot of beginners make the issue of pushing their hips forward when they're trying to go behind the back. So as they're going, they're pushing it like this, and now they're catching it like that, and now your body just feels out of place and you're not in the right position to be able to explode out when we start moving. What we wanna do is stay nice and low. After you go in and out, keep those hips in the same position, behind, so you're almost dribbling underneath your butt twice, 1, 2, and then you're going between the legs. So your body stays relatively in the same position the entire time. Remember, pound the basketball hard. I want you guys to go 3 rounds, 30 seconds total. To develop an elite handle, you guys have to first understand the 4 handle types. And the first handle type is our foundational handle, then it's our defensive handle, then our attack handle, and then the creative handle. A lot of beginners only have 1 to maybe 2 of these handle types, but the elite ball handlers can have all 4. Our foundation handle is just being able to control the basketball. Our defensive handle is being able to protect it against those aggressive defenders. Our attack handle is being able to attack the defender, get by, and be aggressive. And our creative handle is being able to take those go-to moves, everything, put it together, but also have the counter moves to be able to go against the better defenders. If you guys want a little bit more of a breakdown on what all 4 of these handle types are, just go to our pinned comment down below, take our free handle type quiz, and we'll also send you a free workout on top of that. Now, these next 2 drills, we're going to work on being able to protect the basketball a little bit more from those aggressive defenders. So we're gonna get nice and low with that wide base. We're gonna perform 1 punch dribble. After that punch dribble, we're pocketing the basketball. So we're pulling it back to the side of us. So as we pocket, a huge mistake a lot of people make, they put their hand underneath the basketball. What we wanna do is just pull the ball back, keeping our hand behind the ball, and then being able to put it back down on the ground. What we're gonna do is take 1 dribble, pull it back, but we're going to go between the legs. Now it's in the other hand. So it's gonna be the same thing, punch, pocket, through, punch, pocket, through. The whole entire time we want to keep that wide base, making sure we're pulling the ball back, keeping our hand behind it, not going underneath. To help you perform this drill a little bit better, what you guys need to do is make sure you pound the ball as hard as you can. The reason why is if you dribble the ball soft, the ball is not going to come back up with enough force. So when you go to try to pull the ball back, it's just going to want to drop rather than stick into your hand. For this drill, you guys are doing 3 rounds, 30 seconds total. With this drill, we're using the whole floor, but still learning how to protect the basketball and move at the same time against that aggressive defender. So we're gonna get nice and low. We're going to step across our body with our first step and dribble. So it's our dribble step here, then we're gonna take a non-dribble step, and then we're gonna take another dribble step, but this is going to be a turn dribble. So we're turning the ball, and then we're going to pocket and step. We're loading here, and then going through, working our way up the floor. So now we're taking our dribble step, non-dribble step, turn and step, pocket, load, and then go between the legs. So we're really working on being able to see the floor still, not turning our body. A lot of beginners make the issue or the problem of always having to turn their body and then protect the ball, so it's hard to still see the floor while you're protecting it from that aggressive defender. This way, we can still protect the ball, but still see the floor as we're walking up the entire floor and protect the basketball. Another way to kind of get a little bit more out of this drill, but keeping it the same way, is just change your pace. So if you're walking, you might want to just be able to go slow the entire drill, work on your footwork, making sure everything stays the same. Another way you can switch it up is just maybe change the speed when you go between the legs. So it's a walking pace as you're going this way, but then when you go between the legs, make it quick so you can still work on having that quick change of speed while doing the same drill. What I want you guys to do is go up and back 3 different times. Use the full court if you have access to the full court, or half court if that's all you got. With this drill, we're now getting into our attack handle. We're gonna get nice and low. We're gonna start off performing our lift to the side. So now we're just creating a little space and having a little bit of a hesitation to see what they're doing. From here, we're gonna go push cross back to this side, but we're immediately getting into our speed stop. So as we push the ball across our body, if the ball's in my right hand, I'm swinging my right leg across here, and I'm stopping on my left leg, going behind the back, and then I'm performing another behind the back. Now the ball gets into my left, repeat the same thing, lift, now I'm pushing across, stop, 1, 2, and I'm repeating this all the way up the floor. The most important thing with this drill is making sure you're attacking hard and you're keeping realistic driving lanes and having a good imagination. So when you lift, you don't want to kind of just go through the process and just drive straight and have bad lines. You want to actually imagine the defense so you can actually attack the right way. Small tip to help you guys with your push cross after your lift. So once you guys lift, we don't want to drag the ball underneath and swing it across our body. We're trying to actually push it across our body and get ourselves running downhill. So it's lift, and now we're pushing it to create as much space that way. Now, we don't want to have the ball go super high. A lot of beginners make that mistake of having the ball almost go across their face, and now that's more like a carry because there's no way you can go from here to then all the way above your face without carrying the basketball. We want to think about it having around your waist, and if the defender's hand's right there, we can just push it right over top of the defender's hands. So it's here, push across our waist, and then get into our stop. So I want you guys to go up the floor 3 different times, up and back. So now you guys get a lot of reps in while you're doing this. So don't try to cover as much ground, try to get as many reps as possible. With this drill, we're going to start off with the same base as we did with the last drill. We're gonna get nice and low. So we're gonna go lift into our push cross, then we're gonna stop quick with that speed stop double behind the back. Now from here, we're going to get into our drop jab cross, and then we're gonna add another cross on top of it. So the ball's on our left, we're going to drop the ball in front of us, so it's a cross, jab opposite, then we're gonna step, cross, run in space this way, and then we're getting into our punch stop. Now from here, this resets us. We're starting everything over from this spot. So now we get into our lift here, push across our body, speed stop double behind the back, then we're gonna drop, jab, cross, here going this way, getting into our punch stop. So we're doing this all the way up the floor. With our last drill, we're going to work on our creativity. The part of the creativity that we're going to work on is our counter move. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 counters. So our first counter is that speed stop behind the back we worked on earlier. So remember, with our speed stop, we wanna stop with a 1-2 step. So if I'm going left, it's 1, 2, and I'm going behind the back. Our next counter we're going to work on is our under drag. So the under drag, I'm going to the left, step across my body, have that extended step out in front of me, pull the ball between my legs, underneath my legs this way, so it's a reverse between the legs, and now I want to pull the ball back. The last counter we want to have is a spin move. So let's say I'm going this way, I want to come to a quick stop, and then I want to spin. What I don't want you guys to do is I don't want you guys to spin, dribble, and then turn. I want you guys to be able to get here, spin, put the ball out on that spin, and then go. Okay, so for this drill, how are we gonna get started? Start off with the pound drill or pound dribble. Then we're gonna go between, cross, and we're gonna take off. Now we're getting into our counter here, going this way, getting into our punch stop. That's going to reset us. So then we can drop again, between, cross. Now we're getting into another counter, switch, driving this way, punch stop, and then that resets us. So with this drill, to truly work on that creativity in that counter move, I want you guys to switch up the counters every single time. So don't do the same one back to back. So let's say I go with a speed stop behind the back here. Now I'm going this when I get into my punch stop. The next counter that I do, it cannot be a speed stop behind the back. It has to be one of the other two. So now I drop between cross. Let's say I get into my spin move. On my spin, perfect. Now I get into my punch stop. Now I reset. I can't do another spin move again back to back. I have to now go into something else. Maybe it's an under drag, speed stop behind the back, whatever it is. So now you guys are really working on that creativity piece, because now you're flowing with the initial setup move, but the defender slides to cut you off. And now you can get into your counter, which is where that creativity comes from. So for this drill, you guys can focus on all the other tips and add those in that we gave you guys earlier. So changing your speed, making sure you're dribbling basketball hard, and going game speed. With this drill, I want you guys to go up and back 3 different times.